all of these lessons that I've learned from gardening, and if I get all philosophical about gardening, I'll talk about sort of your efforts to control something, and then the beauty of failing to control it, and you set out to do something, and what really results is so different and so much more beautiful, or not, than what you intended, and that's sort of what's exciting about it, is that it is a relationship, and you're contributing to it, but the real magic of what happens isn't something that you own once you've facilitated. It goes so far beyond what you could have ever created, right? The plants do all the hard work of really making a garden beautiful. You just kind of put them in the right places, and what's interesting is the kind of new philosophical approach you have to take when you're doing public gardening, because of course in our private gardens the primary pests are slugs and snails and aphids, and in a public garden the primary pests are like somebody driving their car over the garden, or somebody drunk throwing bottles in the garden, or somebody sitting on the garden, or there being a big party and somebody climbing up on the garden and then standing on the garden. And in my early days of dealing with public gardens and dealing with volunteers who were dealing with these public gardens, I would witness the emotional devastation that people would experience when they had worked so hard to create something beautiful, and then had some other person come along and do harm to it. And I guess philosophically I've tried to really encourage everyone that I've involved to sort of think more of all of the pests, all of the things attacking your garden. Think of them all in sort of the same way, all as sort of innocent things going about their business, not meaning you any ill harm. And you have to remember to feel that way about people too when they do something silly like throw trash in your garden, that they aren't thinking, boy, I'll teach those people to try to build a community by gardening. They're just thinking, oh, look, here's somewhere that I can throw my, gosh, I didn't want the beer bottle anyway. And so but I think it's an interesting lesson in an urban environment. You have to learn to live with people all around you, and you have to learn to be really tolerant. And I think that the lesson of urban gardening can be about a certain tolerance of all the types of incursions that happen when you're gardening, and learning to relax with them and follow the thread of what you're trying to do, which is to create something beautiful and to add peace to the world and add beauty to the world for yourself and for the other people that might interact with the garden.